back to Bedtime Stories. And now we're going to be having part 2 of the book, The Marvelous Mouse Man. Oh, wow. And if you haven't seen part 1, please go to my channel at Kelly's ASMR. That is youtube.com/Kelly's, KELLYS ASMR. So you can watch it, okay? Or you can also watch it on YouTube at UME Radio. That is youtube.com/ the letter UMERADIO. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm looking forward to continuing this amazing story. So let's go. Yes. Oh, happy day. The mice were gone. They celebrated till dawn. Then everyone began to yawn, and soon they all were sleeping. But in the darkness while they slept, out of their houses creatures crept. Along the silent streets they stepped. On padded paws went creeping. And when the people woke, they found their cats had left without a sound. Not even one was still around. They were without a feline. And when their dogs discovered that, they ran away in nothing flat. For what's a dog without a cat? They took off in a beeline. The children then began to whine. Although a mouseless town is fine, at catless towns we draw the line. And dogless towns are awful. Without our pets we will not stay. We cannot live a single day. And so the children ran away, although it was not lawful. This put the townsfolk in a state, and one and all bemoaned their fate. Their hearts were sad, their sorrow great. How could their children leave them? But later when they understood, their children had gone off for good. They set off quickly as they could to find them and retrieve them. But when at last they found the crowd, the children all looked very proud and told their parents they had vowed to stick by their decision. We do not mean to be unkind. We hope and pray you do not mind. But we can't leave our pets behind without our supervision. Meanwhile, the chap who had begun the whole affair, the very one, was lounging in the noonday sun, the odor even stronger. And all around him danced the mice, who'd cost the town so high a price, as if they lived in paradise and craved the town no longer. You've led our children far astray, and now they will not come away. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. What do you say? The townsfolk all accused him. He looked them over for a while, then smiled a secret little smile, rather like a crocodile, as if they all amused him. My dearest friends, don't be absurd. Your mice are gone. I kept my word. They might have stayed if you preferred. I kept my bargain, clearly. I understand your deep concern. You want your children to return. But as you see, your words they spurn. They love their pets so dearly. And since the children won't go back, as long as cats and dogs they lack, you'll have to try a different tack. Now let me lead you through it. To lure the dogs, the cats must part. To lure the cats, the mice must start. To lure the mice, now that's an art. No one but I can do it. The fellow waved his fan. At that, the mice came running pitty-pat, and after them came every cat, and all the dogs thereafter. And then the children, two by two, went marching down the avenue, exactly as he said they'd do, with merry peals of laughter. And last in line, their hearts like lead, the townsfolk trod with heavy tread, in dread of what lay up ahead, a second mouse invasion. And also, floating in the breeze, they'd have as well the smell of cheese. The cure was worse than the disease. Oh, what a sad occasion. And when they finally reached their town, and all of them had settled down, their foreheads furrowed with a frown, and hot beneath their collars. The fellow told them if they'd pay, he'd take the mice and go away, while making sure the cats would stay. The price, $100. But sir, we've no more money now, the mayor explained with wrinkled brow. We'd pay you, but we don't know how. It was a great disaster. They had no way to meet the cost. With no more money, all was lost. The fellow's heart seemed cold as frost. He had become their master. But as he stood there tall and proud, observing the unhappy crowd, a piping voice spoke clear and loud. I've thought of a solution. It was a little girl who spoke. They wondered if it was a joke, or could she really save the folk and end their persecution? While we've no money we can give, he hasn't got a place to live, and so I'm almost positive he'd pay us for a dwelling and make the walls extremely thick. And if we build it double quick, it soon will stop the smelling. Her plan was good, they did agree. But first of all, they'd have to see if he would pay them back his fee to buy a place to live in. At first, he said it wasn't fair. Why, he could live most anywhere. Without a house, he did not care. He did not want to give in. But when he started to recall, he hadn't had a home at all, or any place that he could call his own since he was teeny. And how he'd suffered from the lack, he took the money from his pack, and bowing low, he paid them back, no longer such a meanie. The townsfolk worked around the clock and raised a structure block by block. The house was solid as a rock, and in it they installed him. And as the night began to fall, the mice arrived and filled the hall. They cheered the mouseman one and all, for that is what they called him. And from that day to this perhaps, as dogs awaken from their naps, the cats slip off their owners' laps, and off they all go gaily. The house is less than half a mile. The mice receive them with a smile, and though they only stay a while, they pay these visits daily. Ooh. Beautiful story. And sometimes when the winds increase and blows directly from the east, the townsfolk may detect the least delicious scent of roses. They know this is the mouseman's sign, inviting them to come and dine. And so they all march off in line, just following their noses. Wow. And that's the end of today's story. That's the end of our book, The Marvelous Mouse Man. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.